You're definite about that, are you?
I'm definite about what?
I mean, are you saying it's crystal
What about
clear?
the general public voting with their feet? Yeah.
No, but as a direct result of Rude Box, is that what you're saying? You genuinely think it was as simple as that? Rude Box came out and then it dropped like that?
Yeah.
Right.
So my advice to you is like, never do the tiger bit. So listen, I've got a question for you. You were a teacher, right?
Yeah, maths teacher.
Maths teacher. And what was this? High school, preschool, college? High school.
11 to 18.
So you obviously have very quick wit and you know, an irreverence. Was it very difficult to not go, shut the fuck up?
Well, I did do that. Not with the swearing, obviously, but I was as sarcastic as a teacher as I am as a comedian. I think like.
Did you ever get in trouble?
No, not really. I think like kids are pretty good. I mean, they're pretty sharp. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's what people say. Kids are pretty good.
But what I mean is, you can talk to kids the same way that you can to adults within reason. Do you know what I mean? So I used to sometimes if kids
they must have liked you, because if there was anybody at my school that did anything like I think you would have done that I didn't like, I'd have been like, right, I'm going to go tell Mr. Bannon now. You can't get away with that. So
what was your school like?
So have you not been being productive then? What have you been doing?
I've been writing stuff, but the truth is I'll be honest with you, mentally I found it a little bit tough. I think it's been a bit up and down, I think, because you think to yourself, well, I've got more time, so I should be getting on with stuff. I think what you're doing is good. It's healthier than I think than what you could be doing, because you're doing something and you don't have. You're not doing that for commercial gain. Do you know what I mean? You're not doing that as work. You're doing that because you just want to do it, right? Whereas because I don't know what you're like, but I'm a bit of a workaholic. So then like now my tour's been delayed, and I think to myself, well, I want to do something else. And then I get to a point where, say if I have a day where the kids have been kicking off or whatever, so I haven't been able to do as much work as I like, I then go to bed getting anxious about the fact that I haven't because
something's riding on it.
Well, yeah, or you just sort of think, shit, I'm wasting my time here. We're going to come out of this lockdown and I'm not going to have made the most of my time, or whatever. You get all these in your own head about it.
But isn't that part of the process anyway? It's like, even if you weren't in lockdown and you were trying to do the same thing and accomplish the same things, you'd be having neuroses about something anyway. Isn't that part of the sort of the process of creating things and, it being uncomfortable?
Yes, I get. I mean, yeah, that is the case. I mean, I don't know what you're like when stuff comes out, but I hate the stuff that not hate. I see mistakes in what I do almost instantly as soon as it's out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you do get anxious about that, and then you think just like to overcome that. But then at the same time, like what you're saying is, you sort of think, well, if I lose that, will that mean that I'll get worse at this? Do you know what I mean? Like you just don't. You sort of think, so maybe my creative process needs me to be this harsh on myself for me to get any better. Otherwise, I'll start getting complacent, or or the stuff will be worse or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You have that thing.
No, listen. I sort of like I haven't written for a while, but because like I've got sort of like songs and songs and songs and songs and songs ready to go, but I instantly, it's like I'll listen to a song and I love it and I love it and I love it, and then I can't wait to play it to somebody, and as I'm playing it to somebody, I'm thinking, oh, that bit's wrong. Oh God, that melody or that lyric. You instantly become way more critical listening through other people's ears,
Yeah.
or what you perceive to be other people's ears.
Yeah.
But that's part of the process, you know. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and it never gets easier.
So what have I been doing? I've been doing art. I went to Australia to do a gig for the Formula One.
Right. How's
in
that?
Melbourne. Well, and I was thinking because like Miley Cyrus was playing Saturday night and I was supposed to be playing Sunday night, and she pulled out just before we were getting on. I was getting on the plane because of the virus, and I went down there, and then it got cancelled, and then we flew back, and because my mother-in-law is very ill, and I've got a brand new baby boy that's 9 weeks old. I had to go and thank you very much. I had to go into quarantine by myself. So I got an Airbnb around the corner, and I instantly got involved with the whole apocalyptic, dystopian madness, fear. Couldn't get to my children, couldn't be near my wife.
Yeah.
And then I started becoming very fearful. And in that fear, I felt like I got the symptoms of the corona.
Right.
And so I got down on my knees. Do you ever pray?
Yeah, on occasion I have done. I mean, my parents are like pretty strict Hindus, do you know what I mean? So they brought us up. Not strict, that's such an exaggeration. My dad was very relaxed, but yeah.
So like, do you pray in times of emergency? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I guess the same time as everyone does. Do you know what I mean? When you feel like, when you start to panic or something, that's when you go, look, man, I know we haven't chatted for a bit, but please, like.
Hey, listen, I was raised Catholic, and I got on the sort of like atheist tip. And, you know, there's a song of mine called Bodies, and I sing in it, Jesus didn't die for you, because I'd seen some videos on YouTube, you know, Zeitgeist. And I was like, yeah, that's bollocks, right?
Yeah.
What a load of bollocks. I tell you what, I've never felt more Catholic in the last week or so.
I bet, yeah.
I'm like, hey, what if I got this wrong? So anyway, I started to panic. I got down on my knees and I started to pray. And I maybe it's my own neuroses, maybe it's whatever, maybe it's my higher self, maybe it's whatever it is. But I heard, stay in the love. So I started thinking about what is love to me, and me and my wife do these things called love attacks, where we're like, I'm having a love attack and I've got a cuddler. And I started to think of that, and then I started to think of my daughter Teddy and the way she looks at me and the way that I'm her everything. And then I started thinking of my doggies and my favorite day on the planet, which was our wedding day. And I started to smile, and it sort of lifted my energy and it lifted my vibration. And I didn't have any symptoms. I haven't got COVID. And since then, I haven't been in fear. I think what I'm saying is that that fear that surrounds us right now is palpable. Have you had the fear?
Yeah, I did. When it all first, I don't know, when it all first started happening, I made the mistake of doing a deep dive into the news and all the numbers and stuff after everyone else in the house had gone to bed. And then I managed to get myself into an absolute fucking like head spin, right, of like just freaking out. And then I thought, I was lying next to Lisa, my wife, and I thought, well, I can't really wake her up and say to her, listen, I know you were sleeping soundly, but it's just I've managed to absolutely fuck myself up here. Do you mind talking me out of this?
Was she, or coming with me? Or coming with me into the fear?
Yeah. So then I think you just have to look after yourself. You have to be conscious of the fact you've got to look after yourself. Do you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, you know, I do think, you know, obviously you've got to keep on top of the news and things like that, but doing that before you go to bed's probably a bad idea. Or you know,
listen. So if the shit's already hit the fan, but if like the dump truck of shit hits the fan, someone's gonna tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So I haven't been watching the news at all. I haven't been. I mean, occasionally, every third day, I'll go to the BBC website and have a look at the news. But the other day, I do this thing called Coronaoke on my Instagram
I
Live,
know.
which
I'm
I'll
well
be
aware of
doing.
it. Yeah.
Which I'll be doing after this. And everybody was asking me to do a Bill Withers song. So I did a Bill Withers song, and then I did that joke. You know that joke?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you turn? Put it in the microwave till it's Bill Withers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know he died. I didn't know he died. I'm not watching the news.
Yeah. You never would have thought that'd suddenly become a controversial joke, would you? That feels like that.
Yeah. So I apologize on behalf of me on Romesh's Instagram Live. I really didn't know.
Yeah, no, well, look, I'll speak on behalf of my Instagram account and say we accept your apology, so that's all good.
Thank you. So what's the first thing that you're going to do when this is all over?
Oh, do you know what? So I've bought a little Pioneer like controller mixing thing. So I'm trying to learn how to DJ during the lockdown. This is my kind of little thing. And then
do you know what you need? Do you know what you need?
What?
You need a Flavor Flav.
Mate, listen, is that if you want to be the Flavor Flav, mate, you've got Flav written all over you. Have you heard about the Flav thing?
A recent Flav thing?
Well, so this is like a bit. I'll make this story as short as I possibly can. But Public Enemy basically announced that they were doing a thing for Bernie Sanders, right? And then Flavor Flav came out and said, I don't want Public Enemy. You can't. Public Enemy are not doing anything for Bernie Sanders. I'm not having anything to do with this. And he said he was going to sue Public Enemy or sue Chuck D. Then Chuck D said, you're fired. You're out the band or whatever. So everybody's like, oh my God, Flavor Flav's left. And then Public Enemy brought out an album like 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. And then in an interview promoting the album, Chuck D said it was like a publicity stunt. I mean, he didn't say it in those words, but he essentially said they were just trying to get people to pay attention to the album. So they sort of pretended that it was so weird, man. It was weird.
That doesn't sound very Public Enemy-y.
No, mate. That is exactly what everyone was saying. It's just
I mean, Flavor Flav's been thrown out of Public Enemy more times than I've been thrown out of Take That. Hey,
yeah,
I met them. I met Public Enemy.
When?
It was a Rock the Vote thing, and we were both doing the same gig in New York, and it must have been like 2002.
Right.
Now, for me, Public Enemy might as well be unicorns or minotaurs.
Yeah.
They exist in this mythical land where, you know, they may not even exist. They are that almighty and that powerful. And they, you know, and I met them, and sort of my eyes sort of must have done that. And I instantly went fanboy. And Professor Griff's a laugh, isn't he?
Oh my God. Was he with him?
Yeah.
And what, did you chat to him?
Yeah. So,
I cannot, I mean,
Robbie,
you chatting to Professor Griff, I can't even imagine how that went down.
Wow. I was sort of like being effusive about how much I loved Public Enemy and how much they mean to me. And I said, I've got all the albums. I said, I've even, and I think it was the word even, I've even got Porn in the Game, which was Professor Griff's album when he left Public Enemy. He looked at me like I'd just done a turd in his mouth. I think it was even. The word even that did it.
Okay, yeah. That was.
So, hey, have you seen the picture of me and Tupac?
No, I have not seen a picture of you and Tupac. But yeah, so I think I'm going to play out somewhere after this is done.
And what, you're going to play hip hop?
Yeah, it'll be hip hop. Yeah, it'll be hip hop.
Old school hip hop?
Well, no, it'll be a mix. I think I might do one of these, like, you know, through the decades things. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not. I've fallen out of love with hip hop.
I'm going to send you a load of recommendations. Then I'll get you back in. I can get you back in.
That being said, though, you know, hip hop kind of stopped for me, and then grime started.
Right. Yeah. I get.
So I'm very happy with the grime.
Yeah. I'm very happy with the grime.
I'm very lads. If you're out there, the grimers, Robbie Williams. I'm very happy with the grime. So just carry on doing some of the grime, okay? Good luck. So you're going to play. Okay. So what? How old are you?
41.
Okay. So what was your go-to hip hop record that changed the game for you when you were, and how old were you?
I was like 11. It was Takes a Nation of Millions, Public Enemies. What a record. Do you know what I mean? So that's what complete. And then NWA straight out.
Night of the Living Bassheads.
Oh mate, unbelievable.
That's Bowie. That's hip hop's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. So good. I mean, we'll have to get in a podcast, man, because I know you know your stuff. What grime are you listening to?
Did you ever have the electro records?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Yeah, there was this thing called Electro One, and then it went. It was like, now that's what I call music for hip hop.
Yeah.
And they were the records that. What happened was I must have been about 8 or 9, and my sister bought me 2 records. One was Pink Floyd The Wall, and one was Electro One. And then I put like Pink Floyd The Wall on, and it was like, fucking, I don't get this at all. And then I was like, and I put Electro One on, and I was like, wiki, 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 wiki. And that was like, this is a bit of me. And off I went. So have you got kids?
Yeah, 3 boys, 10, 8 and 5.
How's that?
It's like an awful party all the time. Just
an awful party.
It's just like the end of a party. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a few, you know, the last people who are the loudest. We have those people all the time, just shouting all the time. At the moment, they're into Fortnite, and they're just playing that non-stop, which is good in terms of it keeps them occupied, but bad in terms of I think we're essentially training killing machines. I mean, they're playing it so much during this lockdown. They're gonna be snipers by the time we get out of this, man. It's crazy.
Have any of them got phones?
Yeah, the oldest one's got a phone.
How old's the oldest again?
10. But
do you sort of like do phone time? Do you limit the phone time?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, yeah, we do limit the phone time, and now he's got very, very used to it. But the other thing is that, and people might disagree with this, but the deal is that he's allowed to have a phone, but we are allowed access to every single messenger thing, all of his social media, all of that stuff, because of what you hear about bullying and stuff on social, you know, whatever, we want to just be across anything that might be happening. Do you know what I mean? So he understands that. He's pretty cool about it.
So I tell you a Theodora Rose story, my Teddy.
Sure.
So she's like just short of 2 years old, and she's picking up words. saying bits of words, has a favourite words, but not making much sense. Right. And I was renting a place in Maida Vale that had a communal garden, and I had a moment where it could just be me and my daughter. And I picked her up and I took her out, and I was still, as I still am, getting used to being a daddy. And I was like, hey, what do you do? You know, how do you do this thing? And you make faces and do the stuff. And I went out to this communal garden, and there was lots of other children playing, and they had their nannies there. Right. And they had a smattering of parents, and they looked over and they saw that it was Robbie Williams, and they did that. Oh, and then whisper, 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 whisper. And I'm sort of having this moment with my child, whilst also thinking that they may be filming me, which people do. So I'm sort of trying to be a dad while at the same time trying to protect the anonymity of my child. And then 3 of the nannies come over and they say, can we have a picture taken with you? And I went, I'm really sorry. I'm just having this moment with my child, and I'm just trying to be a dad. Do you mind if we don't do that? And with that, they instantly think I'm a CUNT. Instantly. Yeah. You're like, oh, you're one of them. And I see their face do the disapproval. And off they go. And I'm like, now I've sort of like, because I'm a chronic people pleaser, now I feel bad that I've said sorry. I've said no, but I need my child to, oh God. So I now sit down on the bench in this communal garden, and I'm doing the to my darling daughter, and I hear click, click, click. And on the next bench, there's 2 nannies taking pictures of me and my daughter. Wow. So I walk over to them and I said, look, I know you know who I am, but I don't know who you are. Yeah. And you were taking pictures of my daughter, of a child. Yeah. I said, you're going to have to delete those. So they delete them.
How aggressively were you saying that? Were you saying it calmly like you're saying it now? Or were you like...
A bit more aggressively than that. Right. So, and then I say, so you're going to have to delete them. So they delete them. And as I walk away, I've got Teddy in my arms, and under my breath, I go, fucking idiots. And Teddy shouts, bye, fucking idiots. There's my Teddy story.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's difficult when you kind of, there's plenty of times where it's okay for me to do a photograph or be Robbie Williams for people. And then there's sometimes where it's just not possible. And, you know, you kind of get to the point where, because I am a chronic people pleaser, if I do every single one of them, I end up being agoraphobic and I don't go out, which I don't, or I do none of them and everybody thinks I'm a twat. So
yeah, it's a difficult, but I do think people understand when you're with your kids though, because
no, they don't.
Well, maybe you're on it. Maybe it's because you're operating on a different level to me. But like, I'll get like a.
I know the Chesington World of Adventure story.
What?
Weren't you at like? Was it? It was you that sort of like had to prove that it was you, or was that somebody else?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not him. Yeah, it's not him.
That was me. Yeah. But normally people are pretty cool. I'll tell you the only time it's gone, I feel sorry for my kids is if I go to the football with them and then people start asking for photos and I'm the same as you. I don't want to disappoint people or upset people and it gets a bit aggy in front of your kids or whatever. So I'll start doing the photos, but then I just look down and I think to myself, well, they've come here for a day with their dad now, and this is just a bit shit. So then you end up sort of saying no, but as soon as you start saying no, you feel like an utter prick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The funny thing is like my daughter thinks that like fame is the best thing ever. right? She just like wants her own phone, needs to be on Instagram. She's so jazz hands. It's already ordained that she's going to be in the business, some sort.
Right.
Like my daughter's me on stage, and my son Charlie is me off stage. So I've kind of like got people coming over to me and asking me to do photographs, and I'm saying, you know, it's kind of, it scares the kids. They don't like it. They feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And then, you know, there's sort of like people kind of get that, and then I walk away, and Teddy looks at me and she goes, "Why'd you say that? I love it." And I was like, "Yeah, but will you do me a favor? Can you just pretend that it scares you?" She's like, "I don't get it. Why should I do that?"
That's wicked, man.
I've got 4 kids. One of the kids will find it difficult, and I'll blame them.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, are you about to do your karaoke then? Corona.
Yeah, I'm about to do Coronaoke. Yeah.
And how do you just randomly decide what songs you're going to do?
No, I ask people, and people send out requests, and if one takes my fancy, I'll do it. 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley's a winner.
Right. Have you done that a few times?
Yeah. Nanny the Elephant is a load of fun.
You don't do Nelly the Elephant.
I do.
What?
Oh, Nelly the Elephant packed a trunk. Can you not remember that one?
No, I do remember it. I was just interested in how far you were going to take it. That's all.
No, listen. In times of trouble right now,
yeah,
whimsy is called for.
Yes,
and
I think you're probably right.
The most ridiculous requests I will do.
You did Pro Green the other day, right?
I tried to. You know, here's the thing. It's like you listen to songs and you think you know them.
Do you know
like,
what, man?
And
he shared the clip of it. It was so good because you went into it. You do what everyone does, which is you started like ready to do the verse. You even said, "I'm going to do the rap on this," and then it's sort of as the words started, you're like, that's a bit more to this than I thought there was.
Yes. Well, let me take that to the nth degree, right? So I'm doing a duet with Rick Astley.
Right.
On stage at the Etihad Stadium. And, you know, how many times have you heard Never Gonna Give You Up?
Oh, mate.
You think you know it, don't you? You think you know it. Yeah. I tell you what, finding out that you don't know it in front of 70,000 people is not the best time to realize that you don't know bits of the song actually.
How did Rick Astley take it?
We never spoke about it.
Right, okay, fair enough. It's probably best to leave it just kind of.
Yeah, but you know, if only there was sort of like a mechanism for recording those moments and then putting it out for all time, for posterity. Is that the right word? Yeah. To remain there for people to find it and, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Romesh, he's the great pretender. Ooh. There you go. There's my Coronaoke. Ladies and gentlemen, I've enjoyed speaking to you all. Love speaking to you, mate.
Yeah, lovely to speak to you, Robbie. You take care of yourself, man. I'll speak to you soon, hopefully.
Okay, and people stay with Romesh, of course, but I'm off to do my Coronaoke. I'll be on the Robbie Williams Instagram Live. Okay.
Take care, Robbie. See you later, mate. Bye-bye.
Fight the power.
Fight the power. Robbie's gone. Guys, it's been great chatting to you. What made you very sad? Yeah, no, right? Let me just have a quick look at some questions there. I imagine these will all be for Robbie, won't they? If there's a single question for me, I'll answer it. Robbie, when's the biopic coming out? Robbie, I've had a crush on you since I was 12 years old. Rob, did you want to be a teacher when you were younger? Can I have a shout out? Are you really digging this conversation? Feels like you're working hard, bud. Really? I hope you've been watching the news on Port Vale, Rob. How does the pink moon look over there? You're not good in remember lyrics. Jesus. Okay, guys, I'm out. Take it easy. Lulu Grim 76. Here's a wave. Rob's doing his Corona. Why can't I fucking say it? By the way, if Rob, by the way, in answer to that, Rob is coming on Hip Hop Saved My Life. Lavinia, shout out to the NHS. I'm going to be back here on Friday. Well, I'm doing chats with Tom Davis every day at 6:30. Pretty unprepared, if I'm being honest with you. And then, but fun. And then on Friday nights at 8 p.m. We do oh god, I forgot the name of it. Lockdown Chronicles Friday night in. And this week we've got Sarah Pascoe, we've got Jamie Redknapp, and we've got Merkage Dave. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you're not feeling too anxious about shit. It will all be okay. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. Love ya. Enough respect. Bye-bye.